Welcome back to Easy English Talk Podcast.
Imagine waking up every morning feeling drained before your day even starts. You check your phone, and there it is, a message that makes your stomach sink. Someone in your life is pulling you down, and you know it, but you still can't seem to walk away. Welcome to Easy English Talk Podcast, everyone. I'm Ryan, and with me today is my co-host, Priya. Today we are discussing why you should let go of toxic people.
Hey everyone, great to be here with you. This is such an important topic, Ryan. So many people are living with this weight and don't even realize it.
Exactly. And I think the first thing we need to understand is what we actually mean. When we say toxic people, what are we really talking about? It's not just someone who annoys you or disagrees with you sometimes.
Right. A toxic person is someone who consistently makes you feel bad about yourself. They drain your energy, your confidence, and your peace of mind. And this happens over and over again, not just once in a while.
So it's a pattern. It's not about one bad day or one argument. It's about how this person makes you feel most of the time. And that's the key difference, isn't it?
Absolutely. Everyone has bad days, but toxic people make you feel bad regularly. They criticize you, manipulate you, or make everything about themselves. And after spending time with them, you feel exhausted, not energized.
And here's the thing. These people don't always look like villains in movies. Sometimes they're family members, old friends, or even romantic partners. People we've known for years, which makes it so much harder to recognize.
That's exactly why so many people struggle with this. We're taught to value loyalty, to stand by people no matter what. But loyalty shouldn't come at the cost of our own mental health.
Let me ask you this. Why do people stay in these situations? If someone is clearly toxic, why is it so hard to just walk away? What keeps people stuck?
Great question. I think there are a few big reasons. First, there's guilt. People feel like they're being selfish or mean if they leave. They think, what if this person needs me? Or what will people say?
Right. And that guilt is powerful. We're told that good people help others, that we should be patient and understanding. So leaving feels like giving up or being a bad person.
Exactly. And then there's fear. Fear of being alone, fear of conflict. Some people would rather stay in a toxic situation than face the discomfort of ending it. They think, at least I have someone, even if that someone hurts them.
And I think another reason is hope. People hope the toxic person will change, that things will get better. They remember the good times and hold on to those memories.
Yes, that's called the potential trap. You're not in love with who the person is, you're in love with who they could be. But here's the truth. You can't change anyone who doesn't want to change themselves.
That's a hard truth. You can support someone, but you can't fix them. And waiting for someone to become a better person can waste years of your life. Years you could spend building healthy, positive relationships.
Exactly. And during that time, the toxic person continues to affect you. Your self-esteem drops, your mental health suffers, and you start doubting yourself. You might even start thinking their behavior is normal, or that you deserve it.
That last part is scary. When you start to believe you deserve bad treatment. That's when toxicity becomes really dangerous because it changes how you see yourself. You stop trusting your own feelings and judgments.
Right. Toxic people are experts at making you question yourself. They'll say things like, you're too sensitive, or you're imagining things, and slowly you start believing them instead of believing your own experience.
So let's talk about recognizing these patterns. What are some clear signs that someone in your life is toxic? How can people identify this before it's too late?
One big sign is feeling anxious or uncomfortable around them. If you're constantly walking on eggshells, worried about their reactions, that's a red flag. Healthy relationships should feel safe, not stressful.
That's a good one. Another sign is if they never take responsibility. Everything is always someone else's fault. Yours, their bosses, the world's. They never say, I was wrong, or I'm sorry.
Yes, and they turn everything into drama. Small issues become huge problems, and you're always dealing with some crisis. It's exhausting because there's never peace or stability.
And here's another. They don't respect your boundaries. You tell them you need space or time, and they ignore it. They show up unannounced, keep calling when you said you're busy, or guilt trip you.
Boundaries are so important, and toxic people hate them because boundaries protect you and they want access to you whenever they want. If someone gets angry every time you set a limit, that tells you everything.
Another sign is one-sided effort. You're always the one reaching out. You're always the one apologizing, planning, trying to fix things. And they just take without ever giving back.
Exactly. Healthy relationships are balanced. Both people give and take. But with toxic people, you're constantly pouring energy into a bottomless cup. And no matter how much you give, it's never enough.
So once someone realizes they have toxic people in their life, what's next? How do you actually let go? What's the first step? Because knowing is one thing, but doing it is much harder.
The first step is acceptance. Accepting that this person is not good for you. Stop making excuses for them. Stop hoping they'll change. See the situation clearly and accept that you deserve better.
That's huge because so many people skip that step. They try to leave without fully accepting the truth, so they end up going back. You have to be honest with yourself first.
Yes, and after acceptance comes decision. You have to decide that your well-being matters more than this relationship. This isn't selfish, it's self-preservation, and there's a big difference.
Can you explain that difference? Because I think a lot of people confuse the two. They think taking care of themselves means they're being selfish, but that's not true, is it?
Not at all. Selfishness is taking from others without caring about their needs. Self-preservation is protecting yourself from harm. It's necessary and healthy. You can't pour from an empty cup, as they say.
Right. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. And staying in a toxic relationship doesn't help the other person either. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is walk away.
Absolutely. Because when you stay, you're enabling their behavior. You're teaching them that treating people badly has no consequences. By leaving, you give them a chance to reflect and possibly grow.
So after someone makes the decision to let go, what comes next? Do they just cut the person off immediately, or is there a process to follow?
It depends on the situation. In some cases, yes, immediate distance is best, especially if the person is abusive or dangerous in any way. Your safety always comes first, and you don't owe anyone an explanation.
But in less extreme cases, maybe you want to have a conversation first, not to convince them or argue, but just to communicate your decision. Is that a good idea, or does it make things harder?
It can go either way, honestly. Some people find closure in explaining themselves, saying, "This isn't working for me anymore." But others find that toxic people use those conversations to manipulate or guilt trip them.
So, you have to know the person and trust your instincts. If you think they'll respect your decision, a conversation might help. But if you know they'll just fight or twist your words, it's okay to skip it.
Exactly. There's no rule that says you must explain yourself to everyone. Sometimes a quiet exit is the healthiest choice. You simply reduce contact gradually until you're completely free.
And what about situations where you can't completely cut someone off, like if it's a coworker or a family member you see at holidays? How do you handle that?
That's tricky, but it's definitely possible. The key is creating emotional distance, even if you can't create physical distance. You limit what you share with them, keep conversations surface level, and protect your energy.
So you're polite but not personal. You're civil but not close. You don't give them access to your thoughts, feelings, or personal life. They become someone you interact with, not someone you're connected to.
Exactly. And you set firm boundaries about what you will and won't tolerate. If they criticize you, you don't engage. You change the subject or walk away. You take control of the relationship instead of letting them control you.
That takes practice, doesn't it? Because these people are used to pushing your buttons. They know exactly what to say to get a reaction from you. How do you stay strong when they're trying to pull you back in?
You remind yourself why you made this decision in the first place. Write down how they made you feel, the things they did, the damage they caused. When you feel weak, read that list and remember why you chose yourself.
That's smart. It's like keeping receipts, not to show anyone else, but for yourself. Because memory can be tricky, especially when you miss someone. You forget the bad parts and only remember the good.
Yes, that's called nostalgia bias. Your brain naturally softens the past and makes it seem better than it was. So having a written record keeps you honest and grounded in reality.
Now let's talk about what happens after you let someone go, because I think people expect to feel relief immediately, but it's not always that simple. What does the healing process actually look like?
Great point. At first, you might feel relief, yes, but you might also feel sadness, guilt, or even regret. You might wonder if you made the right choice, especially if the person reaches out.
And those feelings are normal, right? They don't mean you made a mistake. They just mean you're human, and letting go of anyone is hard, even when it's the right thing to do.
Completely normal. Grief is a natural response to loss, even when the loss is healthy. You're not just losing the person, you're losing the version of the relationship you hoped for. And that's painful, no matter how toxic the reality was.
So you have to let yourself feel those feelings without acting on them. Feel sad, but don't reach out. Feel guilty, but don't go back. Emotions are temporary. They pass if you give them time.
Exactly. And during this time, it's crucial to fill your life with positive things. Spend time with people who lift you up. Do activities that make you happy. Don't leave an empty space where the toxic person used to be. Fill it with good things.
Because if you don't, you'll be tempted to go back just to fill the void. Loneliness can make a toxic relationship look better than it was. So you build a new life, one that doesn't include them.
Yes, and this is also the time to work on yourself. Think about why you allowed this person into your life in the first place. What made you stay so long? What patterns do you need to change?
That's deep. So it's not just about removing them, it's about understanding yourself. Why did you accept that treatment? What were you afraid of? Those answers help you avoid similar situations in the future.
Exactly. Sometimes we attract toxic people because we have low self-esteem, or because we were taught to please others at our own expense, or because we're afraid of being alone, so we accept anyone who shows interest.
And once you understand those patterns, you can change them. You can build stronger boundaries, develop better self-worth. You can choose healthier people because you know you deserve healthy relationships.
Yes, and that's the real gift of letting go. It's not just about removing negativity, it's about making space for positivity. You're not just ending something bad, you're beginning something better.
I love that perspective. It's not about loss, it's about gain. You're gaining peace, gaining energy, gaining respect for yourself. Those are things the toxic person was taking from you.
Absolutely. And here's something people don't talk about enough. When you let go of toxic people, you send a message to everyone in your life. You show them that you have standards, that you won't accept poor treatment.
So it actually improves all your relationships, not just the toxic one, because people see that you value yourself and they treat you accordingly. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate.
Exactly. If you tolerate disrespect, people will disrespect you. But if you walk away from disrespect, people learn to respect you. It's not about being difficult, it's about having self-respect.
Now, what about forgiveness? People always say you should forgive. Does letting go mean you have to forgive the toxic person, or can you move on without forgiveness?
This is such an important question, and I think people misunderstand forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean saying what they did was okay. It doesn't mean trusting them again or letting them back into your life.
So, what does it mean then? How do you forgive someone without excusing their behavior? What's the line there?
Forgiveness is really about freeing yourself from anger and resentment. It's saying, what you did hurt me, but I'm not going to carry that pain forever. You're not doing it for them, you're doing it for your own peace.
So forgiveness is for you, not for them. It's about letting go of the emotional weight so you can move forward. You can forgive someone and still never speak to them again.
Exactly. Forgiveness and reconciliation are two different things. You can forgive without reconciling, and that's perfectly healthy. Some people don't deserve access to you, even if you've forgiven them.
And honestly, some people don't even want forgiveness. They don't think they did anything wrong, so offering forgiveness feels pointless. In those cases, you just move on without waiting for closure from them.
Right. Closure comes from within, not from the other person. You don't need their apology or acknowledgement to heal. You give yourself closure by choosing to let go and move forward.
That's powerful. So many people wait for an apology that never comes. They stay stuck, waiting for the toxic person to admit they were wrong. But you're saying you don't need that. You can close the chapter yourself.
Absolutely. Waiting for someone else to give you peace is giving them power. Take your power back by deciding you're done, with or without their approval. Your healing doesn't depend on them. It depends on you.
Let's talk about the benefits now, because I think people need hope. What does life look like after you let go of toxic people? What changes can someone expect to see?
The first thing people usually notice is feeling lighter. It's like you've been carrying a heavy bag for years, and suddenly you put it down. You didn't realize how much weight you were carrying until it's gone.
And your energy comes back. You're not constantly drained anymore. You have energy for things you enjoy, for people who actually appreciate you. It's like breathing fresh air after being in a smoky room.
Yes, and your confidence grows. Without someone constantly tearing you down, you start remembering who you really are, what you're capable of. You stop doubting yourself because there's no one whispering doubts in your ear.
And your other relationships improve too, don't they? Because you're not bringing all that stress and negativity into them. You can be fully present with the people who matter.
Absolutely. When you're free from toxicity, you have more to give to healthy relationships. You're happier, calmer, more yourself, and that makes you a better friend, partner, family member because you're whole.
Plus, you set a better example for people around you. Maybe someone seeing your strength will find the courage to leave their toxic situation. Your decision to choose you can inspire others to do the same.
That's a beautiful point. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away from something that's hurting you, even if it's hard. And people notice that courage, even if they don't say it out loud.
Now, let's be realistic for a moment. This process isn't easy. There will be hard days, moments of doubt, times when you miss the person. What do you do when those feelings hit?
First, remember that feelings are not facts. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you should go back to them. You can miss the idea of them or miss who you hoped they'd be, but that doesn't change the reality of who they actually are. Feelings pass, but the toxicity would continue if you went back.
Right. Feelings pass, but the toxicity would continue if you went back. You can miss the idea of them or miss who you hoped they'd be, but that doesn't change the reality of who they actually are. Feelings pass, but the toxicity would continue if you went back.
Exactly. On those hard days, reach out to your support system. Talk to friends who understand your decision and will remind you why you made it. Don't isolate yourself. Connection with good people helps you stay strong.
And keep busy with positive things. Don't sit around dwelling. Go for a walk, read a book, work on a hobby, exercise. Do something that makes you feel good about yourself and your life.
Yes, and practice self-compassion. Don't beat yourself up for struggling. Healing isn't linear. You'll have good days and bad days. Both are part of the process, and both are okay.
And remember, every day you stay away is a day of healing. Every day you choose yourself is a day of growth. Time really does help, as long as you're not going backward.
Absolutely. 6 months from now, a year from now, you'll look back and you'll barely recognize the person you were when you were in that toxic situation. You'll be amazed at how much you've grown and how much lighter you feel.
Let's also address something important. What if the toxic person tries to come back? Because they often do. They realize you're gone and suddenly they want you back. How do you handle that?
This is so common. Toxic people often return when they lose control. They might apologize, promise to change, tell you they miss you, and it can be very convincing, especially if you're feeling lonely.
So, how do you resist that? Because words can sound good. They might say everything you always wanted to hear, but how do you know if it's real or just manipulation?
Look at actions, not words. Words are easy. Anyone can apologize. But has this person actually changed? Have they done the work? Or are they just saying what they need to say to get you back?
Right. Real change takes time. It takes therapy, self-reflection, effort. If they show up with a quick apology and expect everything to be fine, that's not change. That's just wanting to restore the status quo.
Exactly. And even if they have changed, that doesn't mean you owe them another chance. You're allowed to say, I'm glad you're working on yourself, but I've moved on. Your decision to stay away is valid, regardless of their growth.
And honestly, most of the time they haven't changed. They just miss having you around for what you provided. Once they get you back, the old patterns usually return pretty quickly.
Yes, that's the sad reality, which is why it's so important to stay strong. Block their number if you need to. Avoid places where you'll run into them. Protect your peace at all costs. Don't give them an opening.
Because one conversation can undo months of healing. They know your weak spots. They know what to say. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is simply not engage.
Absolutely. You don't owe anyone your time, your energy, or your presence. Not even for closure. Not even to talk things through. If you're done, and that's enough.
Let's talk about building a better future now. Once you've let go of toxicity, how do you make sure you don't end up in the same situation again? What can people do to protect themselves moving forward?
First, learn to recognize red flags early. Don't ignore warning signs just because you like someone or want a relationship. If something feels off in the beginning, it probably is.
So trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, pay attention. Don't talk yourself out of your own feelings or intuition. Your gut is often trying to protect you. Listen to it.
Yes, and take relationships slow. Don't rush into deep connections. Give yourself time to really see who someone is before getting too involved. People reveal themselves over time. Watch how they treat you and others.
And maintain your boundaries from the start. Don't wait until you're miserable to finally speak up. Set clear limits early and see how the person responds to them.
That's key. Healthy people respect boundaries. Toxic people fight them. So if someone gets upset every time you say no or need space, that's information. Pay attention and act accordingly.
And keep your own life strong. Don't lose yourself in any relationship. Keep your friends, your hobbies, your independence. A healthy relationship adds to your life. It doesn't replace it.
Exactly. The best relationships are when two whole people come together, not when two half people try to complete each other. You should feel more like yourself with someone, not less.
And work on your self-worth, because when you value yourself, you naturally attract better people and repel toxic ones. People treat you the way you treat yourself.
Yes, self-worth is like a filter. It helps you see clearly. You notice disrespect faster. You don't make excuses for poor behavior. And you're not afraid to walk away because you know you deserve better.
All of this takes work, though. It's not automatic. You have to be intentional about building a healthy life. But it's worth every bit of effort, isn't it?
Absolutely. The work you do on yourself now protects your future. It ensures that you spend your time with people who truly value you. And that's a gift you give yourself that keeps giving forever.
Before we wrap up, is there anything else you think people need to know? Any final thoughts on letting go of toxic people? Anything we haven't covered that's important?
I think the main thing is to be patient with yourself. This process takes time, and that's okay. There's no rush. Healing happens in layers, not all at once.
And remember that choosing yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. You can't live a good life if you're constantly being drained by toxic people. Your well-being matters, and you're worth protecting.
Yes, and know that better relationships exist. Once you remove toxicity, you create space for genuine, healthy connections. People who celebrate you, support you, and bring out the best in you.
Those people are out there, and they're waiting for someone like you. Someone who knows their worth and won't settle for less. But you have to let go of the wrong people to make room for the right ones.
Exactly. And every day you spend free from toxicity is a day closer to the life you actually deserve. So take that first step. Even if it's scary, you won't regret it.
Well said. I think we've covered this topic really thoroughly today. If you're dealing with toxic people, I hope this conversation gave you some clarity and maybe some courage to make the changes you need to make.
And remember, you're not alone in this. So many people are going through the same thing. It takes strength to walk away from what's familiar, even when it hurts you. But that strength is already inside you. You just have to use it.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening today. We really appreciate you spending this time with us, and we hope this episode helps you in some way.
If you enjoyed this episode, we have many other topics we'd love for you to explore. We talk about personal growth, relationships, mental health, and so much more. So check out our other episodes and keep learning with us.
Take care of yourself, set those boundaries, and remember your worth. Until next time, this is Ryan and Priya from Easy English Talk Podcast. See you in the next episode.